Guys, you know how in Star Trek, whenever they were about to bring the Enterprise into battle, what was the first thing the captain would always say? They would say, "Raise shields," or "All power to shields." You know, they were ready. They were ready to go into battle. Well, this is what this story reminds me of with Moses Ingram of the upcoming Kenobi series on Disney Plus. Because it seems to me, like I've always said, that they use their black actors or actors of color, whatever you want to name, whether it's Asian, whether it's women, whether it's gay, trans, whatever. They use these groups as shields to protect them from any criticism, whether it's righteous criticism or wrong criticism that they might get from the fans. Okay, so to me, that's what it seems like. Raise shields, bring in Moses Ingram. Here we go again. What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. And right away, why don't you reach out and touch that like button and that share button? And of course, if you guys want to give a super thanks, I would appreciate that. It lights up your comment. I respond to every super thanks that I see in the comment. But of course, you guys know I appreciate you no matter what. Okay, so guys, let's get into this article that I saw. And right off the top, I want to give a big old shout out to my friend, the lady herself, the beautiful Lorena Creole, because she's the one who brought this to my attention yesterday. All right, so I want to talk about this. Make sure you go to her channel, by the way. Great channel, Lorena Creole. Look her up, man, if you don't know her. But of course, everybody knows her. So let's get into this, guys. And this was in IndieWire.com, okay? So I'm going to leave that link in the comment section below. It's going to be in that pinned comment. So check that out if you want to read it. Now, it says here, Lucasfilm warned Obi-Wan star Moses Ingram about racist Star Wars hate, saying that it will likely happen. Okay, so in other words, Lucasfilm has told Moses Ingram, the star, or one of the stars of the Kenobi series, Riva, that she will likely experience Star Wars hatred. Okay, so let's get into what it says here. Lucasfilm is aware of the dark side of Star Wars fandom. Yeah, that would be called criticism, okay? They call it, that's the dark side of fandom. The fact that people can actually criticize your shit. And of course, because it's online, you would get extremism online. I mean, that's what happens, right? But okay, they want to, focus on that. Going on. Oh, here we go. After John Boyega and Kelly Marie Tran received racist fan harassment, which I never saw, by the way. The only racist thing that I saw directed towards John Boyega is when they took him off the poster in China, or shrunk him, whatever you want to call it. And when Kelly Marie Tran was actually written out of The Rise of Skywalker. Remember that? The fans didn't do that. The studio did. So anyway, following their respective roles in the recent Skywalker trilogy, the production company behind the franchise is bracing for a backlash over POC stars. Oh my, it never gets old, does it? Moses Ingram, who plays a villainous inquisitor in the upcoming Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi, hunting the Jedi trainer Ewan McGregor, revealed that Lucasfilm was proactive in media training ahead of the series premiering on May 27th. She goes on to say, it was something that Lucasfilm actually got in front of and said, this is a thing that unfortunately likely will happen, but we're here to help you. You can let us know when it happens, Ingram told The Independent. Didn't Thandie Newton do this also? She talked about, I've been doing these videos for a while. In my memory, I got a sharp memory, baby. And I remember Thandie, don't call her Thandie anymore, it's Thandie. And she said the way that her character was regarded on Solo was disrespectful. Now, of course, Moses Ingram doesn't remember that Thandie Newton was in Solo because she acts like she was the first person of color, the first black woman. Never mind Lupita Nyong'o, never mind Thandie, never mind any of them. It's about her, and it's about time to change. But anyway, we'll get back to that later. The fact is that Thandie said the same thing back in the day. You know what I mean? So, we see that there is actually, a tendency of Lucasfilm to use these POCs as they see fit. Like I said before, shields up, all power to shields, throw up your black person to protect us. And after they're done, they throw them away, man. It happens, again and again. But anyway, she says, Ingram noted that Obi-Wan Kenobi director Deborah Chow has been putting the proper systems in place, so I feel safe as we do the work throughout production. Is she saying that she felt like there was a physical threat towards her? She's put the proper systems in place, so I feel safe as we do the work. Of course, there are always pockets of hate, Ingram said, but I have no problem with the block button. Of course, that's usually what happens. They block everybody. They do block chains, as a matter of fact. All they want is just people who are going to praise it. I've said it millions of times. When I talk about this type of thing, inevitably you have people who come in and say, why don't you just shut up until you see it? This show hasn't even come out yet. Shut your mouth. You haven't seen it yet. But who says that to the people who are saying, hey, this looks good. I can't wait to see it. Shut up! You haven't even seen it yet. You haven't seen it. It doesn't matter whether it looks good or not. You can't tell because you haven't actually seen it. Nobody actually says that. No one ever says that. But there can't be balance. You can't have people say, I don't know. Seems like there might be something there that I'm not liking. I don't like that particular aspect. Shut up! Okay. I love it. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Any Star Wars is good Star Wars. Oh, you're such a darling. You're positive. Come in. You're the super fans we've been looking for because you're going to make us a lot of money. That's the difference now, isn't it? So anyway, it says here, right? It goes on. Let's see what else she has to say. Regarding diversity, okay, this is what Moses Ingram has to say. Obi-Wan is going to bring the most diversity I think we've ever seen in the galaxy before. Guys, I've talked about this before. This is where they go wrong. I'm sorry, but it is. They always ignore what has come before. They ignore the prominent role that James Earl Jones has always had from the beginning. They ignore Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian. They ignore Samuel Jackson. They ignore Fan D. Wei. They ignore Lupita. They ignore Kelly Marie Tran. They ignore John Boyega. I mean, you see what I'm saying? It's like, why would she say this? Obi-Wan is going to bring the most diversity I think we've ever had in the galaxy before. They ignore the fact that Pedro Pascal is practically the savior of this Disney Star Wars thing as we see it today. You know what I mean? They ignore Cassian Andor. I'm just saying, but she says Obi-Wan is going to bring the most diversity I think we've ever seen in the galaxy before. Ingram added, to me, it's long overdue. If you got talking droids and aliens, but no people of color, did you guys hear the list that I just ran down? No people of color. It doesn't make any sense. It's 2022, No, it's not 2022. It's actually a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Moses. This is what I was talking about on the other video. This is what they don't understand. She says it's 2022, so we're just at the beginning of that change. They're just at the beginning of that change. Guys, how many times have you heard me say on these videos that people like this just love to believe that history started right this second with them? They don't look back and see anything. It's like they never even watched this shit in the first place. They don't know what it stands for, We're just at the beginning of that change, but I think that change is better than never having started it. Okay, so, I'm going to leave this down there. Of course, they're getting into John Boyega and Kelly Marie Tran again. Kelly Marie Tran never, as far as I know, never actually said it was the fans. Whenever she talked about it, she said it was the media. And it would be the same thing with the guy who played Jar Jar Binks. It was the media, that really drove him to feel like he wanted to hurt himself. It's a terrible industry. It is. It's cruel. No matter where it is, whether it's sci-fi, sci-fantasy, action, this is just what this industry does. It eats its own, so to turn around and try to solely blame it on fans. Of course, anyone who's honest is going to say, of course, there are fans out here who take it too far. Are there racists in the fandom? Of course there are. Come on, we're not naive here, but not to the point where you can just single that out as being what the problem is. It's like if you've had any time alive, then you know that people are people and there's going to be good and there's going to be bad. And that's just what it is. But I'm more concerned with this tendency that Lucasfilm has, not so much her. All right. She's just going, she's young, you know what I mean? But Lucasfilm, they have this history of doing this where, like I said, You guys think I might have been trying to be cruel when I did that Dinner for Schmucks video. But no, this is exactly the way that they see it. They go out and they find these suckers, these black suckers, these women, these gay, homo, whatever you want to name, whatever the marginalized group is, they lift them up to protect themselves. It's the virtue signal thing. And they're doing it and they're using them as shields to protect them from criticism. Like good criticism, productive criticism, because they just block it out, because that's what they've been doing for years. That's what they've been doing with me for years. Of course, they want to talk about racist white people. They want to talk about middle-aged white guys and stuff like that. What they never want to talk about are the critics that look like me, the critics that look like the Dark Council, the critics that look like, everyone out there who's different, than these so-called white people that they're putting up. That's all it's ever been about, deflection. So they don't have an answer for people like me. They never will. And that's the reason why they like to silence me. That's the reason why YouTube doesn't like to promote creators who look like me. They won't do it, guys. They won't. And I'm tired of fucking pussyfooting around it. It just is what it is. The only way that we get any voice and we get any exposure in this game is if we promote each other and if we share our content, and we speak up. That's all. But that's the way I see it, guys. And for Moses Ingram, I can only hope as she gets older and more experienced, maybe she gets to know this game. But, there's a lot of actors and actresses who are going through this out here. They just want to work. I understand that, guys. But shame on Lucasfilm for doing the same old thing they do. They put up the shields, so they're ready for it. If Obi-Wan comes out, Kenobi comes out, and it's great, by the way, for everyone who's saying, well, what if it's great? Will you say that you were wrong? Of course I would. I think you guys watch other channels and you bring that shit over here. It's like I've been saying this for years and I've been this way for years. I'm fair and I'm impartial. All I ever talk about is how I feel about things. Okay? So of course, what am I going to look like enjoying some shit and then trying to act like just for the sake of it that I didn't enjoy it? I'm not making that much money off of this where I need to be doing that. That's not me. So take that somewhere else. Okay? So anyway, guys, that's what I wanted to say about that. To me, that's what it seems like Lucasfilm is doing. They're preparing themselves. If the show is good, then great. We all win. But if it's not, they already have a ready built-in excuse that the reasons why we don't like it is because we're racist. And it doesn't make any sense if it's somebody like me. So they would rather just ignore that people like me even exist. So anyway, guys, there it is. Like I said, you can get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. Thank you for listening. And I will check you out on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.